Grenada is poised to improve its project implementation rate and align priorities with the government's transformative agenda. That's according to officials from the World Bank and the Caribbean Development Bank following a joint mission to Grenada last week. The partnership mission saw engagements with stakeholders, senior government officials, entrepreneurs, and beneficiaries, all geared toward reviewing existing projects to assess implementation rates, financial support, and challenges, and identifying opportunities to improve coordination and delivery. World Bank Operations Manager Gail Richardson said the bank has 10 projects in partnership with the government of Grenada, 9 of which are investment projects. Of the 9, 8 are regional projects. She shared some of the findings, which highlighted gaps and challenges in the procurement and implementation stages.
What we have found is that there are a lot of resources available to the government to support the implementation, meaning we have a lot of money that is available to support the achievement of results. And what we wanted to do this week was really try to unlock what's the challenges that are being faced with implementation. Some of those projects are relatively new, so you wouldn't expect them to be moving very quickly. Others are relatively old, so we wanted to figure out how we can help the resources to flow. We do have a couple of projects on our radar screen that we're going to be giving extra attention to because we know that they still make sense and the government confirms that they make sense. But there's some fundamental issues such as challenges with the procurement process, sometimes the World Bank taking too long to get back to the government, lack of clarity on who's doing what. So we really did come up with a good list of things that we can work on together for the next few months.
However, following the discussions and engagements, she is confident that moving forward, Grenada's project implementation rate will increase and the island will realize more development.
I think that we have now come up with a great platform. It's been about 2 years since we've done a portfolio review with the government of Grenada, and it's the first time we're doing it in partnership with the Caribbean Development Bank. So it makes it an even stronger partnership, both among the development institutions, but also with the government of Grenada. So I'm very confident that we'll continue to see more and expedited procurement of activities and the achievement of results going forward.
CDB's Director of Projects, L. O'Reilly Lewis, says Grenada's developmental priorities are in the right place. He commended the government for taking the bold step of assessing, identifying, and improving the process.
This took a lot of collaboration, and we are extremely pleased with the response of the government agencies for planning the meetings and spending the time to talk to us in very open and frank ways about what the challenges are. Some of the challenges relate to how we operate as a bank. And some of the challenges we would see and suggest maybe things that could improve with how the government has been implementing the projects. Challenges can only be solved if we approach it together. Right. It's not enough to say blame the bank or to blame the country. You know, really, we both of us are in it together, and we have to sit down and figure out. You know, if there are issues, for example, with not enough contractors, how can we design a project to attract other regional contractors to participate, for example, right? Those are things you have to think about and agree on upfront.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Climate Resilience, Perron Johnson, described the engagement with government officials as timely and fulfilling. She said moving forward, her ministry will be guided by the fact that success in project implementation starts from the preparatory stages.
And coming out from this, I think we had very frank, fruitful discussions, specific in terms of how can we improve project implementation. And we were able to identify some of the challenges and some of the potential bottlenecks, and we were able to identify what we can do better in terms of improving that. So as early as project preparation, we have identified that it's important for us to have well-defined projects with clearly defined objectives, indicators, and monitoring taking place. So from the very outset, it's important that we're able to define what it is we want. It's important for us to have clearly defined, well-prepared terms of references with clearly defined deliverables so that we know from the outset what we are to expect and not say at the end that we did not receive the service that we anticipated. So this was one of the key takeaways.
In addition to general stakeholder meetings, discussions were held with leading implementing ministries, including the Ministries of Economic Development, Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation, Infrastructure and Physical Development, Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy, and Blue Economy and Marine Affairs.